Son of Man, take up a lamentation upon the king of Tyrus. And say unto him, thus saith the Lord God, thou sealest up the sun, full of wisdom and perfect in beauty. Thou hast been in Eden, the garden of God. Every precious stone was thy covering. The sardius, topaz, the diamond, the beryl, the onyx, the jasper, the sapphire, the emerald, the carbuncle, and gold. And workmanship of thy tabrets and thy pipe was prepared in thee in the day that thou was created. Verse 14. Thou art the anointed cherub that covereth. I have set thee so. Thou wast upon the holy mount of God. Thou hast walked up and down in the midst of the stones of fire. Thou wast perfect in thy ways from the day that thou wast created till iniquity was found in thee. By the multitude of thy merchants, they have filled the midst of thee with violence, and thou hast sinned. Therefore I will cast thee as a profane out of the mountain of God, and I will destroy thee, O covering cherub, from the midst of the stones of fire. Verse 17. Thy heart was lifted up because of thy beauty. Thou hast corrupted thy wisdom by reason of thy brightness. I will cast thee to the ground, and I will lay thee before kings, that they may behold thee. Thou hast defiled thy sanctuary by the multitude of thy iniquities, by the iniquity of thy traffic. Therefore I will bring a fire from the midst of thee. It shall devour thee, and I will bring thee to ashes upon the earth in the sight of all them that behold thee. All they that know thee amongst the people shall be astonished at thee. Thou shalt be a terror, and never shalt thou be any more. This morning I want to deal along the lines, and I came up with this title only last night, the opposition leader. Opposition leader. Now, I'm not talking politics here. Opposition leader. Genesis chapter 3 describes the serpent who tempted the first human couple. That serpent was none other than Satan himself, as we get a direct interference between mankind and the opposition leader. Two Old Testament passages, Isaiah 14 and Ezekiel 28, the one that I read, have been held to furnish a picture of Satan's original condition and the reason for his loss of that heavenly position. These passages were addressed originally to Satan himself as the person behind the focus of our daily warfare. Revelation 12 sketches the further stages in Satan's work of evil. In his fall from God's favor, Satan persuaded 1/3 of the angels to join him in his rebellion. Throughout the Old Testament period, he sought to destroy the Messianic line. When the Messiah became a man, Satan tried to eliminate him. During the future period of tribulation that is yet to come, before the Messiah's second coming, Satan will be cast out of the final heavenly sphere of office that he has, because he's still holding office as the accuser of the brethren. Then he will direct his animosity towards the Messiah's people. Revelation 20 notes the final phases of Satan's work. He will be bound for 1,000 years and then finally cast into the lake of fire. He is and will be the opposition leader that's against all who stand for God. From our daily duties to our ministry, he continues to be hindering force in our warfare. Hindering force. So I want to show you a couple of things about this leader, this adversary that we deal with on a regular basis. And I want to deal briefly first of all with his rebellion. Now his entire career can be summarized in 7 phases. 7 phases. Number 1, we identify in Ezekiel chapter 28, part of what I read, that Lucifer, and in King James, and his name only appears only once in the entire Bible. That's the only time we get what his original name means. Outside of that, we have Satan, devil, the old serpent, and the list goes on, the dragon, the accuser of the brethren. But this name Lucifer appears only once in the scriptures. It actually means the bearer of light, and it was the highest of all the created angels. Number 1, I need for you to understand is that he's a created being. And if he's a created being, and you and I are created beings, we are all created beings. Created beings do not worship created beings. We need something higher than a created being for it to be qualified for worship. And therefore, if there's anybody that is listening to me and you have or you know of persons that are involved in satanic worship, you are worshiping a created entity that is on the same path with you. So he was the highest of the created angels. He was created perfect and was a beautiful, loving, and wonderful angel that loved and served God. Scripture gives some of his qualifications, says he was full of wisdom. And I want to tell us first of all, don't ever feel that you could take on Satan or the opposition leader by yourself. He didn't acquire smartness, he started smart. He is full of wisdom. As a matter of fact, I can also add that he has over 6,000 years of human experience. He could trace your family line right back to Eve. So don't ever feel like you're right to take on the opposition leader. He was perfect in beauty. You look at a lot of the entertainment and you look at what happens in our world and so on, and there's a lot of beauty in it. Rather it be our parades that we have in Trinidad, whatever's going on, there's a lot of beauty. He was perfect in character. So God did not create him to create sin. He made a choice of his own as a free will being. But he was started perfect. The second phase is that we notice that Lucifer became proud of his appearance and ability. Scripture says he became proud because of his brightness. He was too bright in the class. Because of his brightness. He became proud of his appearance and ability, which caused a spirit of rebellion and a desire to be in the place of God, being worshipped as God. So Brother Leon hired a man to help run a company and put him as manager. When he started to see he could do so much, I think after nobody else, he wanted to tell the owner. You want to take it away? Of course, I don't have to tell you how many times in churches we have had persons who will have great ability and then they want to take over. He He became proud and sought to be like God. As a matter of fact, he wanted to be more than God. He wanted to go above the status of God. The third aspect of his career, Lucifer's discontent spread throughout the rank of the angels to the point that 1/3 of the angels agreed to support Lucifer's view. Soon after war took place, Lucifer's name was changed to the accuser. So there was war in heaven, and 1/3 of the population of heaven was rooted out. Please understand that war, violence, and rebellion is not something that started on earth. What you see happening in Ukraine and Russia and different parts of the world is a continuation of what started here. So this is far beyond. It's a disease that did not originate on earth, but was introduced to it. We are not told of the population of the angels. We know Scripture tells you that there are 10,000 times 10,000 and thousands of thousands. That sounds like plenty. What we do know is 1/3, and Revelation 12 says is still drew 1/3 of the stars. There was a church split in heaven, 1/3 gone. So there was war in heaven. When we look at his origin, this opposition leader was a created being with high position realm. And I want to stress the value again of him being a created being, because he was feels God. He feels he wants to be God. He feels he's greater than God. He feels he's brighter than God. But he's a created being. Now the thing about a created being is there are two aspects of a created being. Number one, a created being has a beginning. And the other aspect of a created being is one day time. An uncreated being don't have a beginning and therefore don't have an end. So when you put your trust in the God that is uncreated, you know forever it can have no end. Are you there with me? He was one of God's archangels, but he was also a cherub, and more importantly, he was a guardian cherub. You have quite a number of ranks. When you look at the stones that was discovering, those were his ranks. 9 or 10 of them he had accomplished. He desired to be greater than God. Pride, stealing God's glory. And recently I've been juggling in my mind, what is this thing called glory? Why it is that God will do some things just to get his glory? Why it is that God will not chase glory with no man? Why it is that there is such a battle for the glory and the rank and the name and the prestige? And then it dawned on me, maybe right or wrong, maybe my mind of reviewing biblical record for 30 years, to me glory seems to be the currency of heaven. Seems to be the currency of heaven. So when Satan trying to steal God's glory, he's a money thief. He is trying to steal what belongs to God. If I were to use our context, hence he was punished by expulsion from the presence of God, and he now remains or is really God's enemy, and more importantly, our enemy as well. Scripture tells us that there is no light or truth in him. He will give you a half truth and a whole lie. Half-baked truth. He's called the father of lies. Father of lies. I remember some time back, someone was trying to justify alternative lifestyles. I'm saying, well, you know, you should not be having enough men for ladies. And their position is, everybody should have somebody, no matter who it is. So once somebody has somebody, rather male or female in their mind, is it to be fulfilled, you know? and give you half-truth and whole lie, not fully understanding the full context of things. He's the father of lies and our adversary, the devil. Fourth stage of his career. Satan and his angels were found guilty of warring against the government of God and was cast out of heaven. Satan cast out of heaven and soon after became the ruler of the earth. And I think this is the reason why Jesus had to pray, "Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven." Because the will of God is very rarely done on it. Because this is governed by another domain. Fifth aspect of his career, Satan, in his desire for power, we should use deception and trickery to deceive most of the world into following him. Satan uses deception as a means of control. And if you're writing or taking notes, if you want to just text it to yourself or text it back to one another, there are 3 D's that I always tell people to watch out for. Number 1 is deception. Destruction. Number 1 is destruction. Number 2 is deception. And number 3 is defeat. To protect yourself from defeat, you have to protect yourself from deception. But to protect yourself from deception, you have to guard against destruction. And the only way to guard against destruction, you have to know what is your focus and pursue the focus. If your focus is to get a degree, you guard against destruction for that. If your focus is to get married to a particular individual, you keep your focus on that. If your focus is to remain married, and those of you that are married here, you cannot have your wife and your husband and you're watching other people outside here. It creates a distraction. Eve had the whole garden, from the whole garden. It had nobody to line up at the back. It had nobody to rush in line to go to pay for a food card. She had anywhere she went, she could have been first. She was really part of first man. She was always first. She could have eaten from any part. If she wanted to eat from the African continent today, she could go to China continent tomorrow. She could go to South America the next day. She could have eaten from anywhere. But one tree becomes more important than the whole year. One tree. Bible tells us that one thing of my desire, and I will seek after it. You can't have one over home, and one in the market, and one in the office, and so you can't have one thing. I think I also. One thing of my desire, and I will seek after. So to protect defeat, you have to protect deception. You have to protect distraction. You have to remain focused. Focus. He got distracted. 6th part of his career, in the final deception, bid to claim world worship. Satan presented himself as an angel of light to convince the world to enforce all forms of religions. In this church and this organization, we do not promote a religion. You will notice that we are very flexible. When you pray, when you fast, when you worship, when you gather, we don't tell you that they have to do it when the moon turns pink. When the sun line up across the equator and all the different things that are there, they're going to find out what is the magnetism of the earth and what is the force here and the force there. So we ain't all that. We know there are things for times and seasons and days and years. When you pray, when you fast, of course some people take it so literal, not all here. People of course, not all here. No prayer at all. No fasting. Don't take away shit. This morning, I know there are some people have to work and have other commitments and so on. Sunday morning, when the time for the Lord, it's supposed to be here, it's for us. I was happy this morning I reached here, I hear keyboard play. I said, keyboard play? When you reach? The time we should keep coming there, cracking, drumming. I said, wow, they're better than this or something. And you resurrection take place this morning? Why? Focus. Focus. Then the final stage of his career, Satan is finally destroyed in the lake of fire in the end of the 1,000 years of the future. His followers will never again be able to pollute the world. The universe. Sin will forever be removed and will never happen another time. And that's the final end of his career. Now, one thing to understand, we must always remember the final destination of the opposition leader. Some of it seems so powerful, like if you come here to take over. And I know he created great havoc. Bible tells us that he come to steal, kill, and destroy. You look at some of these graphics that are coming out of these countries that are being rather by warfare or whatever, I mean entire cities. You know, I saw one video where these guys were walking through a part of Ukraine and all over the streets, of fancy house, and all over the streets, dead bodies. Dead bodies. What's his purpose? To steal, kill, and destroy. These are some of the common names of the opposition leader. Lawlessness. We've seen that in the nation. Evil one, the accuser, is an enemy, God of this world, a beast, a dragon, a tempter, Apollyon. You know where the word Apollyon comes? It's in 9:11. So here, go to Revelation 9:11 and you'll see it. That's the original 9:11. It actually also means destruction. It's a 9:11. He's the father of lies, murderer, ancient spirit, or ancient serpent, devil, prince of darkness. You know, it has an entire television series called Lucifer. Yeah, I think on season 8 or something. And the title of this hot as hell. I have to really watch it. In dealing with the opposition leader, I want to give you a rated R. Dealing with the opposition leader. This is one thing for us to identify who he is. What we are interested in is how we deal in warfare with this opposition leader. Number one, remember the intercessory work of Christ. Sometimes we forget that Jesus is in heaven praying for us. Many times I forget that too. Sometimes we forget to pray, we still protect you. We forget to read the something he prays as well. John 17:15, I pray not that thou take them out of the world, but that thou should keep them from the opposition leader. And this is Jesus' prayer. Now, it's interesting. I recently did a research on the word temptation. I know the word temptation actually means in some of the original to be experimented on. Just as how they'll take you into a lab and perform an experiment, temptation is to put you in an experiment. And both in our Father's prayer, where Jesus is going to lead us not into the laboratory, lead us not into experiment, lead us not into temptation. Yet he's praying that thou should keep them from evil. Notice not just evil, but from the evil. Jesus. Remember that. Number 2, recognize, remember we're looking at Rita Harris. Recognize that God may use Satan devices for good. So if you do get an attack, some people are with virus, some weakened with debt, financial devastation, parts of the world where homes are gone. Somewhere this weekend I saw some major flooding. 2 Corinthians 12 and verse 7. And these I should be exalted above measure through the obedience, through the abundance of the revelation. There was given to me a thorn in the flesh, a messenger from the opposition leader. A messenger of Satan to what? Buffet me. But that word buffet is an interesting, it means to use the back of the hand to stand above and to beat your face down all the time. Tell me right now, boom. There is a boom. Buffet. Least I should be exalted above measure. I remember Joseph when he finally encountered his brothers back, his own family. 22 years later, from the time he traded the pit and sold it. He says, what was meant for evil, God has turned it around for good. I was just reading to the around. God, if God allows an inflow of temptation to come true, know that He can turn it around for good. So recognize that God can use it for good. I really don't like this one, and I'm sure you don't like it too, but He does use it. So like it or not, you read it. None of us goes and sit down with a whole big bottle of medicine and just sit. You might do that with course, with juice. But sometimes you have to take. There'll be drama home where you hold on them for them to give them medicine. Well, how do they come back? Big as she is. Don't talk when you go out doctor, the doctor says, you gotta get shots, so go on. 3, so when you make it out, refuse to speak contemporaneously of Satan. Like I said, he was full of wisdom, perfect in beauty. He has 6,000 years experience with your family line and with your history. He watched you since you pampers. And he knew your whole history back. Jude 8, 9 verses 8 and 9. Likewise also these filthy dreamers defile the flesh, despise dominion, and speak evil of dignities. In other words, they have no respect, they don't understand, so they have them all loose. Filthy dreamers, they despise, speak evil. Yet Michael the archangel, who is Michael? An archangel, high rank. When contending with the opposition leader, when contending with the devil, he disputed about the body of Moses. Trust not bring against him a railing accusation, but simply said,